And welcome back to the hottest marriage show in the world. It is I, John D, aka Too Much, and my better half,
Kanika,
better known as
Do.
And we are doing Too Much Podcast. Welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm well. Yourself?
I'm doing well also. So what is your well looking like today?
It snowed. It wasn't supposed to snow, but it snowed. And I love snow when I don't have to go anywhere.
Is that right?
Yeah. But we have skylights. So when it snows and you see them, you get a different view. It's nice.
Definitely. It's snowing now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Barely.
Barely. Now, I wanted to get on here and ask you, in your opinion, what's the most common way that you're misunderstood?
I think most of the time people think I care and I don't. Like, they think I care about, maybe if they say something to me and it's kind of off the wall and they say I'm sorry, then I'm fine with that. I don't need the extra added, apologies or checking in, temp checks. I guess it's nice to better safe than sorry. But also it's just I don't have enough time or desire to offer my time to fret over a lot of things. And I think people think I care and I don't. And then it's like they try to make me feel like I'm supposed to care. Like, no, I think that this, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'd rather move on. And I think that people don't understand that I don't necessarily care as much as they think I probably should.
I wonder, when you say you don't care, are you giving enough information for them to feel like that you truly don't care, or are you giving off energy where it says that you may look like you care?
No, what I try to do is I try to use inflection in my voice and a look on my face. It's like, oh, okay, well, thanks, or oh, I'm good, or I got you, I understand. So I don't know. I think that I try to make sure that the look on my face and my voice sounds like we're good, but it doesn't always feel like it. Maybe, and I think that everybody has the right to have whatever sensitivity they have to whatever topic. But I think that we're always trying to make sure that we're not being offensive, and which I think is good. And for other people, them checking in multiple times might be, I appreciate that they do that. But for me, I wish that there was like a little button or something that I could press where there's a light on me that says I'm green, I'm go. It's all okay.
I know. I think, when I hear that, it makes me think about the Korean drama we just finished watching. And I don't think you understand the facial expressions you give off of people for them to feel like, okay, she says this, but her face says this, or her body language says this. And I think that when you you don't care, but if you don't care, you should at least look like what a person would look like if they didn't care, because whatever energy you're giving off, it looks like she cares.
But I think overall I have like not a flat affect, but yeah, I'm not going to walk around with generally I don't walk around with like a pleasant look on my face. It's just a blank look, I think. So
you think a blank look is unpleasant?
No, I just think that, people can't easily decide whether or not I am. I think that it's that resting bitch face. People say, I think that they use that too much. I think that there are people that walk around with a scowl on their face. I mean, I've had people in my life that do, and it's not really that they're upset. It's just how they look. But in general, I think people who they show no emotion, now they get lumped into the resting bitch face look too. And it's not the same.
Do you think that if people were genuinely happy, they would have that look?
Yeah, because I don't think that the idea about being happy, that's another thing. I describe myself, I think that I'm a happy person. I think that but when I look at myself as, okay, Kanika, are you happy right now with your life? I think, am I comfortable? Am I, do I feel safe? Um, do I feel any stress? Happy to me is not walking around with a smile plastered on my face. Like, if you ask me if I'm happy with my life and if I'm happy from day to day, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm quick to laugh or smile or anything like that. I look at the whole picture. And sometimes when people are like, well, if you were happy, you would have this look on your face all the time. I don't think so. I think that there are people with smiling faces. Like my dad used to have a smiling face. He had these eyes. It was like immediate. I don't think there was ever a time my dad came in the house that you started talking to him or you saw somebody talk to him and he didn't immediately light up. That doesn't necessarily, but my mom is not like that. My mom, um, she doesn't walk around with a smile plastered on her face. But as soon as you talk to her, it's easy. A smile is easy to come to her face. And so when I'm walking around and I'm not necessarily looking, I don't have a smile on my face, but I don't have a scowl on my face. I don't think it's fair for somebody to say that she must not be happy. Like, look at her.
Why do you feel like it's not fair?
Because I don't think everybody expresses happiness the same way. I think that there are some people that are very outwardly they express like their joy and happiness and all the other stuff. And there are other people that they view happiness differently. And they are just a different person. They present differently. Everybody presents uniquely, I think.
So let me ask you a question. So when I get this information about what happy looks like, are you saying that what we learned about happiness isn't correct?
No.
The reason why I'm asking this is because I just want to have an idea of like to me, I feel like a universal symbol of happiness is people smiling.
Right.
But you say, well, what I'm hearing is that that's not necessarily the case for everybody.
Mm-mm.
But if everybody did do that, people would assume that they're happy, correct?
I don't think so. I think that there are fake people too. Now, this is the thing. So recently we were watching this Korean drama, and it had an autistic brother. There were two brothers. One was autistic, and he had difficulty picking out the emotions that people had around him. His brother, recognizing this, even when he was struggling or stressed or in pain or whatever, he would put this little smile on his face. He would try to have bigger smiles, but in general, he knew that if his eyes looked a certain way and he had and his mouth turned up, his brother would perceive him as being happy, and then he wouldn't be stressed, or the autistic brother wouldn't be stressed about his other brother's emotions. And so, I think that it's like that. I think that there are some people that they put it on.
No, but
it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what it means.
But this is what I'm saying. I get that. I'm not talking about those people. I'm saying that if you're happy, why don't you smile? So like you can smile for people because you don't want people to think that you're not happy. I get that. But I'm saying if you're happy and it's the universal thing, why isn't it easy for people?
I don't think that. I don't know.
You like if I walked around like this, like I was like mean mugging, like, do you think I'm happy?
No.
Why wouldn't you? Like you assuming?
Because it takes a lot of work with your like muscles.
Well, I was told that it takes less muscles to smile.
It takes even less to just have a blank look on your face.
Well, this is the thing. Like I don't know if maybe blank and unapproachable is two different things.
Well, and then but that's my thing about unapproachable. Unapproachable to me is if I look at somebody and it looks like they have a furrowed brow or their face is tight, their jaw is tight, something that indicates that maybe they're tense, or that idea of the resting bitch face. Like if somebody's walking around and they look like, because it takes muscles to look like that too. So if somebody has that look, that to me is unapproachable. A look where you're not frowning, you're not scowling, you're not smiling, you're just there. It doesn't necessarily mean that I wouldn't want to speak to you. You don't seem unapproachable to me because you don't have a smile on your face. A smile on your face is not the only way that I can indicate that I would want to talk. To me, I stay away from people who, and I can't even say that. Like, if somebody looks upset or troubled, I'll even approach them and be like, are you okay? But in general, just because somebody doesn't have a smile on their face, to me, doesn't mean that they're not approachable.
Okay. Maybe okay. So I'm saying.
Well, and let me just say this. I remember one day you were walking around the house and you had a blank look on your face. And you said, oh, I got to smile. And you started smiling, and I said, for what? He was like, you said.
Because I'm happy.
Because I'm happy, and I feel like I should be smiling to show that I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like that's necessary.
Oh, no, I get it. I totally understand. I'm just saying that you don't have to smile. Mm-hmm. Not saying you do. But to say that you're misunderstood is because you're giving out miscommunication. When I say, like, if you're giving a face out and people would consider that you're unapproachable or something's wrong, it's because that's what you're portraying. Like, it's that something's wrong according to their experience.
But do you think that sometimes we as adults are walking around with an elementary school level perception of how to view people? Because it's like, if I'm happy, I'm smiling.
So why do
give an example,
why do you do your inflection like that when you just describe it?
I think that is how you teach beginner level.
No, I get it, but we're talking like right now. Like,
yeah. So what I'm saying to you is that I think that the way that we look at people sometimes is beginner level perception of people's emotions and whether or not they're approachable. If they're smiling, they're happy. And if they're frowning, they're sad or they're mad.
I think you're making it matter of factly, and I don't want to do that.
Let me say this though. So when we lived overseas, I remember there were a number of times you came to me and said that people told you that I wasn't approachable. Mm-hmm. But I don't walk around with a scowl on my face. I just don't have a look. I won't have a smile.
You don't have a look that says it's okay to say hello.
Why? Now, what was it? What was it? No, my face?
But now the why is happening. I'm just saying that whatever you think your blank look is, it's not blank to other people. If they can come up with it, doesn't say, "Oh, she just has a blank look on her face." When you say blank, I want to know what it looks like now because
my eyebrows are not furrowed.
I know, but you make it seem like your eyebrows have to be furrowed to be upset or bothered.
No, and I think that if I'm not frowning, I'm not smiling. Like, to me, that's what I'm saying when I feel like people are operating off of elementary level, like what emotions are, whether or not somebody is approachable or not.
No, I think nobody wants to get rejected when they approach somebody. So it's like if somebody's smiling, it's less likely for them to clown you.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying.
It's less likely. But I'm also saying, there are people who approach me, and I guess it's because this is who I am. Like, and because my mother is much like me, I'm much like my mother. It's, we don't have a particular look on our face. At least I don't think we do. But when people come and talk to us, then immediately our face changes. And so it makes me feel like,
don't talk to me unless.
No, and I'm saying, like, the look on my face is not, don't talk to me. It's not.
No, I'm just saying. You said
it's not readable.
You said your face changes immediately when they come talk to you.
When they come talk to me, it's like, oh, I may smile. You'll definitely get my attention, and I'm very receptive to people talking to me. I just think that it puts people off. I guess when I was growing up, I wasn't put off by people who didn't have a particular look on their face, because that's how my family is.
What do you think that Day is following you guys' footsteps?
Yeah.
Why?
But don't just say y'all's, because your mom does that too.
I'm not I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying.
John was attracted to his mother's type of people because your mom, she just has a look on her face. And when you start,
but I know she's not happy though, and she can say she's happy, but I know that she is not happy.
Yeah, but I think this is the thing, is that I just don't feel like I should have to smile all the time in order for people to feel like I might be a friendly
You don't
person.
have to smile all the time. Okay, I'm not saying that you do. I'm just saying that your face shouldn't look like something's wrong. You say a blank.
And that's the thing. I don't think that well, I could be sitting in a room and not looking like anything, and people will think that something's wrong.
Then this is what I'm saying. That if you mentioned the elementary part.
Wish today was a day we were using a video. So people could see how I really sit there and look. And then they could tell me. It
doesn't matter what. You're just going to get a larger audience that understands what I'm talking about. Because I didn't come up with these things. Other people said these things about you. Right?
Yeah, but I just don't. I feel like people want me to work too hard for them
look, check this out. Look, this is what I guess ultimately what it boils down to. That you're not as happy as I would like for you to be.
No,
this is for me.
Okay, go ahead.
My opinion is that you are not as happy. And you know what? If you were, I think that like if it happens, you ever get to this place where you be like, oh, this is what he's talking about. Like you do want to just smile because, like you like, oh, I'm Glee. You know what I'm saying? Like you're
Gleeful.
Just, yeah. So, but you don't know. You see,
just feel like that's not
because you haven't been there. You haven't been there. Like the reason why I'm saying this is because the way that you describe it, and then when you brought my mother and you kind of tied it all together, and I was like, you guys have not interacted with a man that can make you smile gleefully.
I don't think a man has anything.
No,
to do
well,
with my
I can say that a man has limited the amount of happiness that you've had.
I definitely feel like there are, I feel like anybody, whether it's a man, a woman, whether it's your daughter, your son, I think there are a lot of people that can impact you on a long-term basis that might like sit with you. And so because your experiences with that person and in turn your life experiences sit with you in a certain way, yeah, you may present as what was solemn? I don't know what the word is that I want to use. However,
well, solemn doesn't look unapproachable.
I don't want it to be that I don't have a man. I haven't had an experience with a man that's going to put me in the right level.
The compliment. No. See, that's what I'm saying. You can be happy. See, that's what I'm saying. Because it irks you because you want to find the negative most.
No, it's not.
Then let me finish it. This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
You can be happy without a man.
Okay.
I'm saying that you can't be as happy as you can be without a man either, because a man will compliment you in a way that you can't get by yourself. A man brings a different element to happiness. I'm not saying that you're not happy without a man. I'm saying that a man can give you a happiness that you can't get. And when I say man, I'm just saying your partner.
Yeah.
Please forgive me. Your partner can bring an element of happiness that you cannot get no matter how happy you are by yourself, because there's a different.
Yeah, they add a different variety to
That's
your
my
life.
point.
I get that part. But when you were talking, you said, it's because you haven't met a man or a man hasn't been in your life. I don't want it to be that. Look, so if I can be happy single or I can be happy in a relationship, then it's not about whether or not I've had any, like, then that means that my ultimate happiness as myself, as my own person, void of anything of anybody else, when I express my happiness, then you expect me to walk around with a smile. And then if I have a partner and then I maximize my happiness with that person, then I'm walking around with a smile. But what if I'm somebody who doesn't readily like smile?
Well, those those people that you're describing to me, there is an element that has not been tapped, something that's preventing them to understand that life is a lot happier than not looking like it's not happy.
I think that you are generalizing people to express happiness in the way that you feel like you want to do it.
I'm doing it by the way that everybody in the world has learned that happiness comes with a smile.
We learned that happiness comes with a smile, but that doesn't mean that that's how it is.
No, I'm saying that that's a universal symbol that says happiness. Like if you see a smile, the rest of the world, no matter where you go, that doesn't mean I'm upset. It means that it's some type of happiness, maybe a shade of happiness. That's what I'm saying. Like, so I'm just using the terminology. Like if I say peace, I don't see somebody going to stab somebody.
Well, can we say happy? Like the smile is a universal symbol of friendliness, not necessarily happiness.
Because smiling has nothing to do with friendly.
Why? Then people feel like they can approach you.
So somebody, no, I'm saying that, well, if you want to use friendly, my point is that if you have a smile, if somebody says,
that's why I'm saying it's elementary level,
but
because we're teaching.
No, I get it, but I'm just going off of, this is something that's common knowledge amongst people, that if you smile, that it represents happiness.
Yeah, that's the elementary. That's why I'm saying, like, when we're talking about kids and we want kids to understand, what does it mean to be, what does it look like if someone is happy, they have a smile.
So are you saying that that's not true?
I'm saying that when you're happy, you can have a smile. It's not necessary.
It's not. I'm not saying it's necessary.
Okay.
Look, I don't smile all the time.
Right.
So I'm referring to
the day you caught yourself and you said, "Oh, I have to make sure. Why am I not smiling? Because I'm happy." To me,
see, that's what I'm. Do you see how you talk, like when you talk to, like when you
I'm not trying to be belittling. I'm just saying.
Did you hear
moment,
that? Hey, I'm like, why do you talk like that when
it was robotic? I don't know.
No, it's not robotic.
In my head, it's like you were like it was like elementary to you, in the sense of you saying, "Okay, I'm happy, so why am I not smiling? Let me make sure that I'm smiling to show that I'm happy." Like, it has to correspond with one another, and I don't think so. But when and I think that there are people who view that it has to look like that in order for people to seem happy, friendly, approachable. And if you don't present like that, resting bitch face. And
no, because you said you can have a blank face. So blank face is not a resting bitch face.
No, but what's funny is that I feel like the representation of resting bitch face has now it's evolved to not only have somebody who looks like they're mad or unhappy, like somebody who's mad or angry or troubled. It has expanded to no look on your face at all.
Who said that? Like, I've never heard that.
Yeah, so then this brings it up to, you ever heard the conversation when women will be like, they'll walk and they may not have any particular look on their face, and a man be like, "You need to smile. You look so much better when you smile. Smile. Put a smile on your face." And some women have said, I'm just going about my day. Can I just have a look on my face? Like, you see guys every day and they can walk around and they don't necessarily have to smile, and nobody needs them to smile for them to seem like they're friendly, approachable.
So if women did that to men, you wouldn't feel that way or something? Like women
feel like that's
decides
weird.
not to do it.
I think that's why this sticks out to me, is I think it's weird to ask people to smile. Because
it represents happiness. Right, because you want somebody to feel like, that's what I'm saying.
But
it's
I think that it's like other
defending.
People. No, I think that other people feel like, in order to show that you're happy, number one, I don't have to show people I'm happy. Number two,
why not? Why do you make it seem like it's like you're being punished if you show people that you're happy?
I said I don't have to.
I know. So I'm asking why do you say it like that? Because you don't have to.
What it is for me. Like, I live my life for me.
No. Look, check this out. I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to pick a fight, but I want you to hear, like, it's a presentation thing,
right?
And I feel like, being that I'm referring to, like you say, you don't care, right? If you don't care, then you should make the people feel like what I don't care looks like. And to me, when you said that, you're giving something where people feel like she does care. So I have to keep saying something, because if they felt like you really didn't care, they wouldn't say anything. They got the message. But if they keep saying, "Hey, like," and you like, they keep beating me up, it's because you don't look like that. You look like you still care. So I'm just saying, maybe if you change your facial expressions, then you wouldn't get those responses from people when you say that people act like I care more than I do. Your presentation looks like that you care more than you do.
What's interesting is, and I really don't want to come across as, I feel like when you talk to me, I'm a pretty pleasant person, but I don't want to come across as being someone that is unapproachable. I really don't.
I know you don't.
But the other thing is I can't care enough. And this is not being funny, and I pray to God that people really, really receive what I'm saying. I don't care enough about other people's feelings to care whether or not they feel like I'm happy. Wait, pause. Because I know you want to talk. I want everybody to be happy, and I want everybody to be content and be able to move through their life however they see fit. I really do. But I also don't care enough about how people perceive my happiness as long as I'm experiencing it. And I really wish that when I tell somebody that this is how I feel, they really, really took my words and they understood what I was saying. And when I say I don't care, I'm saying I don't care enough about other people's perception of me to put on a act. So if I say I'm good, I really am.
So how many people feel that way though when they say that?
Know.
To me, I feel like it's like a shutdown. Like I don't want to talk about it no more. I'm good.
No, it's not. It's like this really isn't something that I would want to give my energy to. Like if there's something that really bothers me, you know this. I'll come back and I'll be like, this really bothered me. And I feel like XYZ. I don't have a problem with expressing my feelings and how I feel about something. I never have had a problem with that. Even if I have to take a step back so that I can gather my thoughts and come with a clear and concise description of how I feel so that we can move forward, I'm very much so into that. But if I literally say, oh, I'm good, I mean it. And I wish there was a different way I could say it, but I don't care enough about people's feelings to save them from mine.
So, I know you come first. So this is what I guess ultimately it's the behaviors that we give to the kids, and like you just talked about how you got it from your mother.
Yeah,
and they has apparently, and I apparently am attracted to women.
And you produce women who don't. But my
point. No. This is what I'm saying. I want you to know, like, the way that it's portrayed, and if she doesn't think like you, and I feel like if somebody says something to her, she's like, okay, it's okay to feel like this. Like to me, I just feel like smiling reduces the part of I don't care. When you say I don't care, it just seems like
it's very callous. I know it feels like I really I don't give
that's
a
what
F
I'm
about
saying.
people.
So,
and it's not that I don't.
And I know that you care more than that your words are sounding.
I want to say like in the softest way, in the most caring and loving way that I don't care. But and this is why I'm saying it. And this could carry on into eternity where people will be like, this is the most, she has a horrible personality.
I guess
and that's
I just
want
to understand, like if other people tell you that they don't care, do you believe that?
I don't know, but this is my thing. This is what I'm trying to say to the people of the world, just so this doesn't follow me into eternity. I say in the most loving way that I don't care. I say it in the way that I will let you live and feel and be however you want. And I just ask the same. And when I say I don't care about how other people perceive me, I do care. I want people to understand that I'm loving and I'm caring and I'm very pleasant and friendly. But I also want them to understand that if I don't have it like a big reaction to something, or I'm not, you're not able to easily read me like the ABCs of emotions, that's okay. Like I care about you enough where I'm going to tell you how I feel so that there's no misunderstanding. I don't ever want people to feel like when I be like, oh, I'm good, then I'm holding this thing over you where I'm like, they really trash. And I don't want you to think that when I say I'm good, I'm good. And if I'm not, I'll be like, you know what? I just need a minute, because I'm going to come back and tell you exactly how I feel about whatever happened. But if I say I don't care, I mean it.
So let me say that. Is this what I'm getting from you?
Okay.
And we can end it. I'm getting that you shouldn't use my body language to determine anything about my feelings for that day. You should believe what I'm saying with my words.
Well, and that's the thing. And I know.
Is that what it's saying?
No.
Oh.
Because I know that body language means a lot. I guess I'm trying to say loosen your perception of what is mean or unapproachable or unfriendly or callous or whatever the case may be. Like, if I don't show any like strong emotion to something, I want you to just take my word. If you can't read it from my emotions, read it from my words. If you can't read it from my body language, if my body language seems blank and you can't get anything from it, then take my words, because I'm being as honest with you as possible. And I'm trying to be fair.
I know, I get it. I guess I'm just looking at it from the messaging I've gotten that the words don't reflect the language of the, like, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, read the body language, because that's really going to tell you. Yeah.
And the words, to me, I feel like they say it's really only 30% the truth of the message, 30%. It's like everything else. So the person can say whatever. So just listening to you, I know that I have to approach it differently, because you're telling me that I have to approach it differently. And I know that you're being as honest as possible. I'm just saying that in relationships, for other people, if you don't have these conversations with your partner, you could use other messages that don't apply to the relationship. Like, I've learned, like, you know, the way that I grew up isn't necessarily going to be the way that I live. And I have to use those clues. So ultimately, I just was trying to introduce, I guess, a different way to communicate, to understand your partner by asking.
Right. Well, I think that everybody is unique. And so I think that it does require having an honest conversation with whoever you're interacting with, because it might be that there may be people who try to shield other people from their emotions. And so their body language is saying they're in pain, but their words are like, no, I'm fine. I'm really fine. So I understand that what I'm saying to you may seem like it's like going in the entire different direction. But I think that it's all about the uniqueness of the person, because I don't want to suffer in silence. I really don't. I do plan on always having a conversation if something bothers me for real. But in most cases, things don't bother me. And so things that might throw somebody into a tailspin don't necessarily do that for me. But then there are other things that somebody else would be like, it's not that deep, but it cuts me deep. And I think that sometimes that is based on my life experiences and what I've experienced. That's why I'm saying it's very, very unique. But in general, I'm very easygoing where I don't care about what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And if things don't immediately impact me or my family, it really doesn't bother me at all. Like, somebody might say something out of line, and I will be like, as an example, so when we were talking to my mom one day, and my mom said something that was, I would say, in the world we live in right now, we were talking to Dallas's godmother, and she lives in the Pacific Northwest, and she was like, you know, this is like, you are dropped into the health equity and social justice, like everything is about being appropriate and fair and, you know, just and respectful in every person. And, you know, and then you think about how we grew up. We were rude to a lot of different groups, not knowing, you know what I'm saying? And then the generation before us, they grew up knowing even less, you know what I'm saying? So there was something my mom said that was more so a display of the generation she grew up in than the generation Day and Dallas were. And so in the moment, I was like, Mom, like, you can't say that. You can't say that. Like, you know, you got to say it like this. You got to say it like that. And she was like, okay. And she, you know, she went back and she was like, all right, I know what you're saying. I know what you're trying to say. But I'm saying that to say now we're so like buckled down on saying things to people and them not being offended or hurt or whatever.
Is that a bad thing?
No, it's not.
Oh.
But what I'm saying is that I know that there are a lot of things that can trigger some people and not others based on their experiences or what have you.
Absolutely.
And so it really does require having the conversation with each person you are engaging with, whether it's a friend or your partner or whoever, to be able to really know how to address them, because there are things that trigger me that wouldn't even impact you at all.
Yeah.
And so I understand that this is unique and everybody is unique and you have to have these separate conversations with them. And so I'm not going to act like everybody takes things the way that I do. I just feel misunderstood because when I say that I don't care, I know it's safer for other people. It's safer in the world and the time we live in where we're highly aware of the different groups that we are all a part of.
Yeah, I got you.
To be sensitive to that stuff. And if I say I don't really care, then you may feel like I'm trying to just save you, but it's festering inside of me and it's just not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like if your face looks the same where something could be bothering you, you're like, did that person really say that?
I know.
Just don't know because
it's confusing. I get it. I get it's confusing and it's not necessary.
And I don't want you to go through that because I know that you work in an area that has a lot of watching how they speak to people and things could be very offensive and be overlooked by being biased because of your, like, I know, and I can only imagine what everybody is trying to figure out what not to say or what to say, and they don't know how far somebody's alone before it could be offensive.
Yeah.
So the reason I wanted to go in there, so I appreciate it. I know it looked like it was the Kanika's Not Happy show.
It does.
And I'm sorry. It was more so just bringing attention and awareness to our body language.
Well, and I appreciate the conversation. It's funny I say I don't care about other people's perception of me, but I do care a little bit that I don't want people to think that someone who expresses themselves like I do, or like I don't want people to think that we're heartless, careless people. It's just that, I exert my energy and my effort and my emotions towards the things that I think are most important. And I don't want other people to feel like, I'm holding them up. And inside, and there are other people like me. I know, it's not just my family line. And so I just want y'all to,
apparently my line's in there too.
Yeah,
so.
His line is in there too. But I just, the resting bitch face or always telling women that they need to smile. Those are things that kind of sit in the back with me that kind of bother me because I feel like, I fit in the category and I don't think I should. And even in fitting in the category, I don't think that most of us should have to smile to show that we're happy with ourselves and what's going on. Sometimes you just, you're just being you, and in requiring that I plaster a smile on my face, even when it's not natural, as I'm thinking about my grocery list or I'm listening to something on my ear, on my headphones or whatever, and people are like, smile. And you're like, I'm trying to think about this bacon. Like, do I need air freshener or not? Like, are there paper towels? You know what I'm saying? I don't always have to.
You hell.
So anyway, I do. Is there toothpaste? So that's just. I'm glad that you asked because I think that there are women out there that think somewhat like me, and even if they don't, there are people like us.
I definitely know there's a population of y'all that feels that way. And again, it was more so I don't want you guys to feel that way. And yeah, I mean, like, especially if you're not. Like, to me, I feel like, yeah, that's just my opinion anyway. Anybody want to give a shout out before we get out of here?
Let me see. I don't think so today. Oh, yes. So I don't know when this will air, but today, the actual calendar date is my grandmother's 99th birthday. She passed away almost 20 years ago. It might have been 20 years ago this year. But this day, every day, she was that kind of woman where in my heart, she's still celebrated. Sometimes I even say is when I talk about her rather than was. And so to the first woman who didn't walk around with a smile on her face, I don't know. Her mama, Big Mama was like that too. So, but to my granny who definitely walked around with the blank look until you talked to her and then her face lit up like sunshine, I want to say hello, Jeanette. Happy birthday. I love you.
Happy birthday. We all love you. I was going to give a shout out to this app again. I know the last episode I gave a shout out to this app, but our YouTube channel is finally picking up. Shout out to you guys who are supporting us, and we do appreciate it. Y'all make today better than yesterday. Don't worry about anything you can't control. GATA. Get after that action, or that action will get after you. Boom. Be great on purpose.